Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded, Season 2, Episode 49, Hot Stove and Ice Packs. I am your host, Eric, with my main man right over there, Ron. How are you?
I am
Name's
quite
on the bottom.
swell.
Quite swell. I am looking forward to tonight's show. So much to unfold. The sports world has not disappointed yet again another week.
It never does, Eric. I don't know how we can get 52 shows in a year with just a lot of stuff that we
every
have to
week.
talk about.
And
Every
we're
week.
almost winding down. We're almost at Season 3, believe it or not.
I
Right?
know.
We're
Isn't
3
it
weeks
crazy?
away. And almost episode 100 coming up soon. Like, we've got so much going on in the next month or so, but really excited about today's show. So much to cover, especially Major League Baseball, which is going to be our leadoff story, believe it or not.
So wait a minute, though. 100. That means we can go into syndication.
You can reach out to any of those broadcasting companies if you'd like and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try that.
We are on SEC TV and a public access channel 12 in Southeast Connecticut every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. So we're already on television technically.
Yeah.
So we just got to get somebody else to hop on that train.
See, but what you don't understand, Eric, we are beyond television.
We are worldwide. We're global.
Yeah, we are.
We are global.
Like,
we are global.
Like, truthfully, no joke aside, like, Egypt, huge for us. Cairo, oh my God, it is our number one city. Believe it or not.
Wow, that's incredible. And that was a show too back in the 70s.
What? That's incredible.
That's incredible.
Well, believe it or not.
Both. It was Ripley's, believe it or not, but
right, it was.
So let's get right into this leadoff story, and that's the Boston Red Sox and some off-season moves that we could start to question what's going on with Heimblum and the Boston Red Sox organization. We're going to start off with Xander Bogaerts, who has officially signed with the San Diego Padres. 11 years, $280 million. Your thoughts on them not bringing back Xander Bogaerts? So this picture we see up here, you will never see again with the Boston Red Sox.
And next year it could get even worse.
Yes, because the gentleman that's also in that picture may be gone.
It would be a travesty.
So
look, I am not liking this move. First of all, you're basically taking two bats out of the lineup, and one, I don't mind. Your DH from last season did not have a good season. But this bat, Xander's bat, you're taking the most consistent bat out of the lineup that they've had for the last 5 years?
He's been one of the top players in that organization for quite some time. Last season, 557 at-bats, 171 hits, run, 15 home runs, 73 RBIs, but he batted .307, which was sixth in Major League Baseball, and an on-base percentage of .377, which was actually 10th. So he's in the top 10 in on-base percentage and batting average. And I am not a Red Sox fan. If you haven't watched the show in the past, I am a New York Yankees fan.
You will be, though, one day this year.
I was extremely disappointed with the Boston Red Sox in this move.
Yeah, it was bad because, look, all right, now looking at their depth chart, they're saying basically Kike and oh my God, I can't even think of the guy's name. The second baseman there, not Story, but the other one, Arroyo. Those two are your shortstops. So that means they're not moving Story over to shortstop now. Like this just just a mess.
I think that's why they got Story and thought Xander was expendable, is because of the fact that they have Story to plug in. But again, didn't have a great season last season for the Red Sox.
No.
You have a homegrown talent in Xander Bogaerts, who's been with the team for 10 years,
Look,
Ron.
when you have a proven commodity, you bank on that. It is going to maybe not give you something beyond, what his numbers have been, but you're going to get that every year. I like that. A consistent bat in that lineup, and you get somebody, behind him to drive him home and others on base, right? That is the thing. So now you want to disrupt that. You get rid of that. You replace your DH with whoever. I don't know who. That hasn't been done yet. And your one move is bringing Yoshida from Japan to play the outfield.
Matsutaka Yoshida.
Right.
But the key would be here is as well though Devers, because Devers
Right.
and Bogarts were such good friends.
Yes.
You're in jeopardy now because if you weren't going to offer Xander Bogaerts a top-notch contract, so basically what I've read and reportedly was offered by the Boston Red Sox was last season 4 years, $90 million for Bogaerts. If you think about what he got, he was looking for 10 years plus on that contract. At 30 years old, again, if you're looking at Major League Baseball and where they're kind of headed, that's pretty common now. 30-year-olds getting 10-year contracts. How do you go about handling Devers now in that situation? Because I thought about it this way, Ron. How did it make any sense that you didn't trade this guy knowing you weren't going to try to re-sign him?
Right. It made
That's the
no
part
sense.
that puzzled me. So what do you do with Devers now? If you know going in at the trade deadline that you're not going to bring back Devers, how do you not want to get somebody into
exactly
the lineup that's going to be a contribution to your team?
And you hit the nail on the head. They traded, their catcher last year.
Yep.
And I would have chosen to trade others instead, because the catcher is more important to the pitching staff than anybody. And when you get pitchers that trust that catcher, trust how he calls a game, and he calls a good game, by the way, how do you replace that? And
you can't.
Like that the pitching staff is what is worrisome, because that pitching staff was not very good last year.
But to your point, you had a guy already you knew in the commodity. So I'm not saying Yoshida won't be good, but you don't know what he's going to be.
But he's unproven.
So you had a 4-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, 2-time World Series champion.
Right.
And I try to look for some reason, say why. Defensively, only 6 players for the Boston Red Sox last year played over 100 games. He finished 4th in field percentage at .983.
Yeah.
So even defensively, he wasn't a liability. So defensively, he was solid. He was one of your best hitters on the team. He was been there for 10 years and produced and won you 2 championships. And basically what you did is said, he's not worth the money.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It baffles me each and every day with these Red Sox and how these fans can just sit back and be okay with that. Because to me, this would bother me.
Yeah.
At least when we talked about last week with the Aaron Judge situation, we said New York had put out an offer on the table. There was another team that came through and offered more money, and New York had an option. They could have said, look, we gave him a very good contract, and he decided to take a better deal, or we can up our deal. They upped their deal because they knew that was a homegrown talent that they wanted to keep. How Boston decided that Bogaerts wasn't worth their time is just baffling to me. And you can't tell me, Alex. Yeah, and how can you? Alex Cora could not sign off on this. I can't believe Alex Cora says this is the best move for the Boston Red Sox next season.
Yeah, and you get nothing for him, and that's what it comes down to. It. You could have had boatload for him at the end of the season. At trade deadline, a boatload,
100%. 100%.
Because I know several teams that would have wanted him. And San Diego was one.
Yeah.
Look, so now what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to move Story over, and then what? You're just moving a hole.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing.
It-
You're moving
the
the hole
only
around.
the only way they save face in this, they get a Devers deal done before the season begins, because otherwise, I think fans are just going to say it's going to be the same thing. We're going to watch this guy. We're going to have to wave goodbye at the end of the season and just know that they're going to just lose him for nothing, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Yoshida real quick. So 5 years, $90 million deal, a $15 million posting fee they had to pay. So far, what I've read about him, he had 3,251 plate appearances in Japan. He batted 326, only 307 strikeouts. He does not strike out. He hit 21 home runs last season. He gets on base. The question would be, again, though, they're saying the competition that was there in Japan, they would relate to Double-A baseball, not Major League Baseball. So he's going to have some kind of decline in Major League Baseball in Boston. Did it make sense? Did this signing make sense to you after the Bogarts situation?
No, and this is the problem. You just gave up on somebody that was proven for somebody that isn't proven. And yes, I understand he could turn out to be something fantastic. Could be. If he comes in and he's like an Ichiro, great. But
Yeah.
what's the chances of that?
Not many.
And
I
mean,
been
I
guys
don't.
that have been successful. Look, Otani, you said it. You know what I mean? There's been some guys that have failed though as well. So,
Yeah, the
and
Red Sox
what
have had
Dice
some of those.
K, right? Didn't do very well with Boston when
Yeah.
he was here. So the expectation. So here was the kicker for me though. Yoshida average with the posting fee, $21 million a year.
Yeah.
Is basically what it comes out to. Xander Bogaerts, $25 million. So you're telling me for $4 million more, you wouldn't go and keep your homegrown talent. You'd pay a guy.
Makes no sense, doesn't it?
It's almost the same amount of money. So it
Makes
it
no
just
sense.
unreal. So the one move I did like what they've done, and it was only a 2-year deal, 2 years, $32 million. 30, even though he's 35, you think about baseball today, a lot of these guys are going into their 40s or close to it. Kenley Jensen.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
He was 5-2 last year, 3.3
yeah.
ERA, 41 saves, which is actually second in Major League Baseball. They struggled. They had 3 guys that basically had 8 saves last season, Schreiber, Barnes, and Houck. And you know what I mean? Now you got a guy that solidifies that piece for you. But
Yeah.
now if you're not putting up runs, it's going to be hard to save games.
That's right. You also don't have the starting rotation as like an LA Dodgers.
Well, Sale's coming back. No, you don't
Like
want to
I
go there
said.
yet?
Like I said.
You don't want to go there yet?
Everything they have is unproven.
He
Unproven.
may touch a hot stove and be out.
Yeah, he might. He might. He'll do something and he'll be out. So
Yeah.
I'm not expecting Chris Sale to pitch much this year either.
Yeah, so it's just I don't know.
And then you have 3 young guys that really couldn't stay off the disabled list or just started last season. So
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see how this Boston Red Sox team is next season.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it.
Because they failed last season, and it doesn't look any more promising this season.
And not to mention, buying the Pittsburgh Penguins really has me in a loop, and I don't even know if I want to root for them anymore. Just saying.
Not a Penguins fan, Ron?
No. So cross them off the list.
All right, there goes those Christmas cards from the city of Pittsburgh.
At least I won't have many paper cuts from opening envelopes.
There you go. See, I loved your positive outlook on things. That's why we continue to do this show each and every week.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some NFL action. And the gentleman on the screen, Baker Mayfield, made a return to the field.
Can you believe this?
Last night with the Los Angeles Rams after being there for 48 hours. Ended up coming in after the first series and helped them with a late second victory with 9 seconds left in the game, throws the winning touchdown to Van Jefferson. Your thoughts on his performance and what this means for maybe Baker Mayfield going forward?
I think this bodes well for Baker Mayfield. Like, it's just a matter of getting that piece of humble pie. And, when the second team doesn't want you, that That's a reality. That's a smack in the face from reality saying you need to start buckling down and being a football player instead of a prima donna.
Or, Ron, I would say this: stop trying to study a playbook and just play football, because it seemed to work for him pretty well last night. Right? You don't
Yeah,
know the
well,
plays. You don't know. Jack about any of them. You really haven't played with any of these guys, and yet somehow you develop some chemistry. And the amazing part of it was, Ron, it was more in the fourth quarter. He went 10 for 15 in the fourth quarter and
yeah,
threw that
well,
touchdown.
I mean, he had an epiphany or something that say, hey, it works better if I throw to my own guys.
It helps. I think it helps. It definitely makes a difference.
I'll throw to somebody that's open. Oh.
So I will ask you this question, Ron. Was it his performance that won the game, or do you think it was Josh McDaniel's coaching decisions towards the end of that game that ended up costing the Raiders? Listen, I thought Baker played a very good game. I did. But they really shouldn't have won that game, the Rams. It was based on Josh McDaniels played that game.
You know how I feel about his head coaching.
Yeah, it was a horrible coach. As I'm watching it, I
terrible.
said he ran 3 straight plays there in the fourth, gave the ball back, and the Rams did the rest.
Yeah,
I didn't understand it. Didn't understand it. So going forward, though, do you think this bodes well for Baker now next season? Obviously, he'll be looking for a team, or he may stay with the Rams now, because who knows in his status going into next season.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to find out next week as well for Baker. I mean, I got to assume that he's going to start.
I heard they may sign the candlestick maker as well. No? That was a good one.
They have to sign a butcher first.
Yeah, see, there you go. All right, you're back in it, my friend. Good job. Look, I'm excited for him. I thought, you know what? I watched that game last night, and I don't normally watch many other games other than the Patriots. But when I do,
that could have been the title this week. Butcher, Baker, and a candlestick maker, because Jimmy G is the candlestick.
Yeah, maker. See? Well, I don't. It's Levi.
I know they're not at Candlestick Park anymore, but
But good segue, because we're going to talk about Jimmy G, and I'm going to play a quick audio for you. This is head coach Kyle Shanahan, talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and his injury.
It's going to be a big recovery, but much less than what we anticipated, which is awesome news for him in the offseason. He'll be good to go right away, so it won't be like last year. Really, I mean, there's that way outside chance, late in the playoffs or something like that, but it's just an outside chance. I'm not really real optimistic about that, but they didn't rule it out.
So as I was listening to that, he said 2 things that really stuck in my head.
It won't be like last year?
It won't be like last year. And also when he was talking about just next season, it makes more and more sense each day I think about why they signed Trey Lance, because they just have no confidence that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make it through a season. And here we go again. They were trying to get insurance with Trey Lance, who unfortunately got hurt. But you can see now why they want to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, because there's just a quarterback that you can't say is going to play 16, 17 games a season for you. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's big, because listen, he's a winner. He's winning this season. He's 7-3 in the games he's played, 67.2% completion percentage. So he's having a phenomenal year. 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. The man is a very good quarterback.
Yeah.
You just can't count on him to be there. And the fact that at this point, why would you want him back in the playoffs? You'd have to be basically in a championship game. And at that point, if your guy Purdy gets him in there, he's pretty good, right? A 7th round draft pick. He beat the Miami Dolphins. If he makes a run here and he gets them there, would you make a change during the championship game at that point? Would it even make sense?
You know what would be awesome? Is if Purdy plays against Brady in the NFC Championship and they take a picture side by side. The best 6th and 7th round picks ever.
Ever. It'd be pretty interesting. Look, I guess my question would be is this. He said next season. Are they moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo, or do they bring him back again?
I mean,
if you were gonna put money on it, Ron, where are we going with Jimmy Garoppolo next season?
if I'm putting money on anything, outside of
Him
Tom
getting hurt,
Brady,
him getting hurt
outside
again
of
next
Tom
season,
Brady coming there,
him getting
I'm
hurt
s-
next season.
I'm
I'm putting a
sticking
lot of money on that.
with I'm sticking with them keeping Garoppolo and then having Purdy as the backup, and you trade Trey Lance. Sorry,
Wow, I don't know about
why
that.
not? Why
Eh,
not?
They've invested way too much in Lance to not at least get a
It's either
something out
that
of
or
him.
they're going to trade Purdy. They're going to
Again,
trade someone.
listen, we don't know what Brock Purdy is. He played in one game. He threw
I
for
know that. I'm
276,
just
but he threw
saying.
2 interceptions and 2
Look, I'm
touchdowns. We're
just
making it.
saying.
Let's not
I'm
anoint
just
this guy
saying.
the next Tom Brady either, because he's a 7th round draft pick.
No, I'm just saying it would be awesome though if that happened.
I agree with you. I just don't know where San Francisco goes from here now.
I don't know.
You're
Well,
in a
they've already made a
catch-22.
mess last year, so I don't think that they're going to clean up their act next year either.
Right?
So
They tried to get rid of him. Think about this though. When he said it won't affect him next season. They couldn't move him because of the injury.
yeah,
So what they're saying is, look, he's going to be healthy, guys, to take him. Somebody
Yeah.
take him, because we don't want him again, because we can't depend on him. And is
Yeah,
there a
but
team out there that would
is-
honestly look at it and say, why would we want to get this guy when we know you're losing 60% of the season?
there will
maybe?
be a team that wants him.
Don't even say New England. It's not going to
No,
happen.
I'm not saying
Oh.
New England.
Who?
I'm
Who are you
saying
thinking?
maybe the Jets. Think
Yeah, but then
about
when he
that.
gets hurt, your next option is Zach Wilson again.
No, Mike White.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about one more
Just
injury.
look. There's going to be a quarterback shuffle again. We already know this, because there's no guarantee that Baltimore is going to end up with a quarterback either.
Yeah, who knows? Lamar Jackson, you're a very good call on that one. But that offense is geared towards a running quarterback, so they'd have to get somebody that can run.
Yeah.
So Jimmy G wouldn't fit in that mold for Baltimore either. But what about the Von Miller situation in Buffalo? So originally they thought he was going to be able to come back. Now he's done for the season. How does this affect their Super Bowl chances?
Well, it makes it more difficult. That's for sure. They certainly have a team that they can do it. You know, I think Von Miller was the cherry on top of the ice cream sundae that, basically made it so that everybody picked Buffalo. And then, I mean, you still have the horses to do it.
Yeah. But so the thing was they got him specifically for the playoff push to frustrate Mahomes, to frustrate Burrow, because these are guys they expect to be facing in the playoffs. He's leading the team in sacks. He had 8 sacks going into before the injury. The next closest one's Greg Rousseau, who had 5. So he was the catalyst on that defense to create pressure. I'm kind of concerned now at this point, because again, offensively, they've taken a little bit of a step back. It just seems like that Josh Allen elbow injury is a little more serious than we thought. They can sit back and say, look, he's playing through it, but he's missing some throws now. He doesn't look as explosive. And the way he runs and brutalizes his body, he's one hit away from an injury.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to stay upright. And now you don't have a guy on the other side on defense that can create havoc for that quarterback that they're going to face. I don't know if they get past Kansas City or Cincinnati in the playoffs. I could see them very easily having the same scenario that happened last season. They couldn't get Kansas City off the field. And what ended up happening? Kansas City wins in overtime.
Yeah. And where'd they play?
Kansas City.
Okay, so their thing is right now they need to get home field advantage,
which again could be a struggle as well, because they're all kind of locked into that same, right, 9-3s, and it's going to be interesting.
And this year you can't even count on a bad team playing bad, so you got to go out there and you got to do the work.
Yeah,
because as we've seen all year long, these teams that are at the bottom, they manage to spring up and play well against good teams.
They're scrappy. There's some scrappy teams out there this year.
Yeah.
And again, we know the way sports is going this year, nothing's a guarantee. There's no automatics like we've normally had.
Ask Brazil.
We're going to talk about the World Cup shortly. That's what I'm going to say, right? We talk about some big teams going down. Yep. So what about your games of interest for this upcoming week, Ron?
I have
games that you're looking at?
I have a ton of them.
A ton.
A
All right,
ton.
I have 4. Let's see what you got.
I have 6.
Okay.
Usually you have more than me.
I usually do, but I what do you got?
So I'm going to go with the less obvious. And I chose the Vikings at Lions. Yes.
I like it though. Yeah, I could see it.
Because look, this is an upset waiting.
Kenny,
This is an
thanks for
upset
joining.
waiting. You know, I think Detroit is going to win this game. I think they're going to win big. And all of a sudden, the Lions could be in a possible push for a playoff.
Manny,
I mean,
thanks for
think
joining.
about that. So this is a big game for the Lions because
look.
if they win, they're what, 6-7?
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you look at, we're waiting for Minnesota to fall off the cliff.
And this could be the one.
If the game goes down, like you're saying, it'll go down, right? That could start to spell the spiral for the Vikings, who I think have overachieved. Look, you can only win so many close
bank
games.
on it, people. If you're gonna bet on it, I don't bet because if I do, then nothing I say would come true. But I would bet on this one if I were you out there.
Okay.
Detroit Lions upset.
Dolphins versus the Chargers. Yeah, I have that game, Manny.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Right, and I think about it from a standpoint. Look, the Dolphins didn't look good the last game.
No.
And they have to prove something now at this point to say, look, it was just a fluke. We are that legitimate contender, because if they lose, it's going to start to, especially to the Chargers, who have been so inconsistent. Look, they're a 500 team, but the Chargers need to start racking up some wins as well.
They're almost out of it.
Yeah, they can't afford much more, when it comes to losses. So it'd be interesting. That game's going to be very fun.
England are in the same. Yeah. They're in that same boat.
Yep. I had the Jets Bills as well. Manny had Jets Bills.
Yeah, I had that one too. That's a gimme.
Right, and again, you think about the Jets beat them.
Yeah.
The last time they faced them. So again, is Buffalo going to let another one slip? And that's where that game's going to be very interesting when you talk about seedings as well, because again, the Jets are still in this.
Yeah.
They're still a contender to win the division.
Yeah.
And that would tie it up.
Yeah, like I think the Jets are on the cusp, but if you don't really have a quarterback, it's going to make it very difficult.
Mike White might be the guy, like you said.
He might be, he might not. I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, the Jets have some really good players that are just coming into their own, and then they have a good rookie class.
Yeah, no, they got a great. And just think about it, if Breece Hall didn't go down, they're running back.
Yeah.
What a shame that was, because I think he would have been a difference maker for them.
Absolutely.
For the whole season.
I also had the Browns and Bengals, because now a little bit of that rust is off Watson, and now I'm hoping that the Bengals just squash them.
So the funny thing is, do you know what Joe Burrow's record is against the Browns?
Probably a losing record.
He hasn't won. He has never beaten the Browns.
Yeah, so this has got to be one for.
It's a game for him. Yeah. I mean, look, they can't afford to lose that game because they are legitimate. They're one game out of the number 1 seed. Yeah. And Kenny chimed in. They're not the same team as last year. I think they're coming into their own now. I think they're.
Don't forget they didn't have
Jamar Chase, right?
Have Chase, so
and then Mixon was out. So those are 2 big pieces of their offense. Their line seems to block better this season now, later in the year. So they got to the Super Bowl last year.
Right.
You find ways to win. They can do that, and they've got a solid defense that can create some problems. Look, they figured out how to beat Kansas City. They've been able to keep with Buffalo. I don't think Cincinnati, you can just sleep on them and say, look, they're not a contender. And to your point, this game may be a big game for them. I like that. Manny also had the Phillies and the Giants. So the Eagles and the Giants. I have that game.
The Phillies and the Giants?
He said Philadelphia Phillies.
I'm like, you just confused
the Eagles.
Me, man. Like,
Eagles and the Giants. Eagles and the Giants. And
yeah, I had that game as well.
NFC East, look, the Eagles are pretty much running away with this. but the Giants need this game so much because they are starting to come down to earth. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because it was almost like a shoo-in for them to make the playoffs. And now it's like, wait a minute, hold on, pump the brakes a little
That's
bit.
what
They
I
could
was
end up with
telling
a
you
losing record.
a while ago, several weeks ago. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, they're going to start showing their true colors, and this is what they are. I don't think they can even muster up, within 2 touchdowns. I think they're going to get blown out. It's going to get ugly, and I think that's pretty much put a fork in them.
Kenny said, pump it, pump those brakes, right? Pump those brakes
That's right.
on the
Kenny
Giants.
knows.
What else do you have?
Look, and that is going to open the door. Say Detroit does beat Minnesota. That opens up a door for Detroit. Think about
Detroit,
that
it's a slim hope, but yes, to your point. Look, I think if Detroit can finish 500, they'd be excited.
Oh, I know they would.
To
they
that
would.
point, like
the
get
last
to
game that I
500.
have, Eric, is Tampa Bay at San Francisco.
Same game I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, can Brady muster it up against the number 1 defense? We know the offensive struggle is going to be there for San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, look, the Bucks here, they haven't been over 500 since I think week 3. So you think about a disappointing season so far for Tom and coming back after the retirement thing.
The sad part is, look at the position he's in now.
Yeah. Look, they're going to win the division.
Yeah.
He's making the playoffs. It's a question of, can they figure out some things now in these next few games? This is a big game for them to start to say, look, are we contenders? Because if they get beat badly by the 49ers, they could say, look, we're not competitive in the NFC. Yep. If they end up winning this game or they keep it really close and it's a fluke loss at the end, we could sit back and say, look, they may be able to get back there again. So very good conversation.
I don't bet against them, that's for sure.
No, you can't. How do you at this point? But guess what time it is, my friend?
Grounded to third. There's 1. There's 2. There it is. It's a triple play.
It's triple play time.
I actually like that. I like that addition right there.
And then we are going to discuss the top 3 leading rushes as of yesterday. So again, thinking that Josh Jacobs played last night, his numbers were a little skewed. So we're not counting last night's game for Josh Jacobs. But Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, and Derrick Henry, we've got to decide who we start, who we bench, and who we cut.
And is that going off of this year's stats?
This year. We're going off this season. I mean, you can deep down if you want to throw a little bit of the career thing in. That's up to you. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be right. You're going to be wrong. So just give us your start cut, start bench and cut, and then I will give the fans out there the correct triple play. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay. Well, going by the stats of this year, then working out the numbers, then you go with Jacobs as your starter, Chubb as your backup, and Henry as your player that you cut, right? I don't know if I'd be ready to do that, though. I don't think I'd be ready to do that. I'm sorry. I still think Henry is the best in the league at running back, and I am starting him no matter what. I am starting him because he's just the best. He's the best. And I don't care the averages. I don't care about that because he's on a winning team. The others are not on a winning team. So I will take Derrick Henry and start him, and I will bench Josh Jacobs because he's doing really well on a team that really should have been one of the best in the league. But he's been the only bright star of the season for that team, including coach. So, and I will cut Nick Chubb.
Seeing you're not giving Nick Chubb the respect he deserves because it's 2 B's and not 1 B.
Yeah, whatever. That's why he's cut. I had to cut him.
And here's where you were wrong. So, and I like Kenny's who did you know it's Robinson Cano, because that's from the Yankees broadcasting. Very good, Kenny. But I am starting Josh Jacobs, and I'm starting Josh Jacobs because he's averaging 5.4 yards per carry this
Yes.
season, 10
And
touchdowns.
that's why I went
also,
through that.
and he also has 42 receptions. So he gives you an
Yeah.
element in the passing game. I am benching Nick Chubb because, again, same thing, 5.2 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And 12 touchdowns, which out of the three of these is the most. So he can get you
Yep.
points when you get into the red zone. And I'm cutting Derrick Henry, who's having a worse year this season, 4.2 yards per carry. And
Right.
defenses tend to bulk up on him because of the fact that that he's going to get the ball the majority of the time.
Well,
With the
not
other
only
two,
that is that you have nobody at the quarterback position, Eric. And this is why, first of all, I would never put myself in a position where I have to have Tannehill as my starting quarterback. Because then you're going to run the ball all the time. So that's part of the problem right there. So, but look, he's the better running back. And I know the numbers are saying something different this season, but that's because of their situations. That's because of the situations. Chubb and Jacobs are getting the ball all the time because nobody else is doing the job. That's clear facts. And everybody knows that Henry is getting the ball because Tannehill can't do the job. So you put 8 men in the box against Tennessee. That's how you beat them. That's it.
who's Nick Chubb's quarterback
Watson now.
And even
Right.
that, I mean, he looked horrible.
Yeah, but look, the team.
He hasn't had a quarterback either.
No, I know he hasn't had a quarterback. I know that.
Brissett was his quarterback. Okay. So
I'm just saying.
same thing as Derrick
But,
Henry and Josh
yes.
Jacobs. Did you see the interception?
It's not the same thing. It's not
Did
the
you
same
see the
thing.
interception that Carr threw yesterday?
It's
where he
not
just
the
floated it up
listen.
there?
It's not the same thing as Henry because with Henry, everybody knows he's getting the ball. They don't know if Brissett is going to throw it or if he's going to hand it off at that time. That's at least the thing that they've kept pretty well. They've mixed it up pretty well.
Manny's got a man crush on you, by the way, because Manny's all in on yours.
Yeah, well,
Kenny,
he
chime
knows.
in here.
He knows it's true. Henry is the better than either.
But
of
if you
them.
base it off of this season, he's not having as good a season.
And that's
as
why I made that statement. So going by the numbers, what they're showing, but everybody knows that Henry's running. So you put 8 men in the box, and that's why it's been a rough season for him because Tannehill can't get the job done. And that is Belichick 101. You know who's getting the ball.
Kenny,
you
let
take
me
that
down.
out.
Kenny let me down.
He didn't
Kenny
let you down.
He did. I am done with both of them.
Look, Kenny and Manny both agree.
Finished. You guys are the same reason why Bill Belichick hasn't gotten fired because everybody wants to remember what they did in the past and not what happens today.
No,
he is not as good as he was last season. Not even clearly close. You're going to take a guy. You're going to pass up on two guys that are averaging a yard more. They're both averaging a yard more than Derrick Henry.
Yes, they are. Yes,
so 2 carries to 3 carries. You'd rather go the 3 carry guy to get a first down than the other 2 that give you a first down every 2 carries. Okay. I got you. That makes sense in football. That's what you want to do. Okay. Let's talk some NBA.
Eric, when I have all the champions on my team and you don't, that'll tell you where to go. I mean, that'll say the word. You want to just look at those stats and say, okay, this is how it is.
Yeah.
But it's sometimes it is more than just the stats. I'll take Derrick Henry over any running back in the league today.
I mean, he is a 5-time Super Bowl champ. I mean, because he is the best running back.
I'm just saying, he is the best in the league.
Hasn't won anything either. Thank you.
No, he hasn't.
NBA
but he will be joining them.
Be joining who? Barry Sanders is retired early and never won a championship.
No, if he played on my team, he'd be joining all those champions.
Okay. Let's talk some NBA, and we're actually going to talk some WNBA. So Brittany Griner was released from a Russian prison in exchange for a Russian prisoner that we
Wait, this is prison talk.
The prison talk. Very good. Your thoughts on what's next for the WNBA star? So Brittany Griner, we're going to bring her up. This is a picture of her on the plane coming back.
I think the next thing for her is probably sit down and actually have a meal.
I'm sure that'll help. But again, think about the mental recovery.
Yeah.
Right. So she's going to have some time where she's got to really, almost 300 days in the Russian prison. Again, how much focus is going to be on basketball right now for her?
Right now, none.
Right. So there's going to be some time. But WNBA season, starts in June, July? I think it's in the summer. So she's got some time. She's got some time. But again, you think about one of the WNBA greats, and the fact that the whole league got behind her during that whole ordeal, the logos on the court, and kind of they kept that all alive so that people didn't forget. So just a good story that came out yesterday from the NBA. We wanted to make sure that we shared it and congratulated her on her release and being able to, come back home and be with her family. So
yeah,
congratulations, Brittany, on that.
But part of me still dislikes this whole situation too. And on the, they were talking about this all day, of course, on the news and stuff like that. And, they brought up another person that's in a camp, we'll say. And he's a teacher, a history teacher. I want to say his name is Fogel or something like that. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. But again, he got caught with bringing, a cartridge with cannabis oil. I mean, first of all, when you go into another country, and I know I said this before, check the laws. And then if it's against the law, you should know, okay, you're in Russia. They don't like Americans. Hello, what is the problem? Why do you not understand this? So of course you're going to get caught. Of course you're going to go to prison. Of course you're going to go to a camp. What do you expect? What do you expect? Yeah. This is ridiculous already.
Yeah, and you think about the situation right now with us and them in the country and what's going on. They're looking for reasons. Don't give them one. Because if you give them one, they're going to take every opportunity at this point. And you think about what we gave up. We gave up somebody who's not a very good person and honestly has some issues with the Americans already.
Yeah.
And so it's, again, we're not going to talk about the political side of it, but it's just we have to be careful of what we do when we travel overseas because a lot of these countries do not like the Americans. It's just a fact at this point. It's where we are.
Yeah. So that's what bugs me. It's like they know that it's against the law, so why are you doing it? It's like really.
Yeah. So let's move on to some Major League Baseball. And Aaron Judge, who signed a 9-year, $360 million deal to remain with the New York Yankees. Do you think the team made the right decision?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, if he can put up numbers that are even close to that, and I mean, what, 50? I'll take 50.
I think the biggest thing, look, in the next 4 to 5 years, they have to win a championship for this to be a successful signing.
Well, yeah,
they have to build a team around him.
It can't be just Judge, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have to build a team and say, look, we've done almost $1 billion between Cole, Stanton, and Judge now. It's over $1 billion they're paying just for those 3 players. You need to get a championship out of this thing because otherwise it's all wasted money. And again, you're not going to 10-year deal, 9-year deal. He's not going to play, at 39 and be the same successful player as he will be for the next 3 to 4 years. This is your window.
Unfortunately, their window is kind of bleak because, you need at least 2 more starters in the rotation to be considered even a possibility because you're looking at teams like Houston, LA, Philly, Atlanta, Mets, San Diego, St. Louis. They all have pretty good pitching staffs that are way better than the Yankees pitching staff. And if you can get around Judge, you pretty much have them beat.
Yeah. Look, it's Right now, where they stand, they're not a championship caliber team.
No.
So what they do the next couple of years is going to be very crucial to this. For me, as a Yankee fan, to say this was a great signing. Otherwise, if you do nothing and you just said, "Look, we kept Aaron Judge because he's the face of the franchise, but we do nothing around him," then what was the point? At that
Right.
point, just let him go, because you're here to build championships, not to
Yeah, and
just
again, like you're looking at
appease
these
the fans.
salaries, Eric. I mean, look at these salaries now. I mean, how can a team even put together a team anymore?
It's difficult. So Aaron Judge, $40 million per season. He is now the highest paid position player
Yeah.
in Major League Baseball. You know, there's two
Yep.
pitchers that are ahead of him. But you think about just from a position standpoint. So I have a fun fact for you. I don't know if you're ready for this one. So he will make $770,000 per week, $110,000 per day, $4,600 per hour, $76 per minute. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's not bad,
I got to renew my contract.
right? There's something a little off there. $770,000 a week he is going to make. He's almost going to make $1 million a week.
God,
Isn't that insane?
that's right. Oh my Lord, that is right.
Right? Like it's
Anybody
just,
that makes 50 million is in that boat, you know.
right? It's just mind-boggling to me that look, you think about the money, and again, in baseball, we keep saying, "Oh, they're not making money." They're making money somewhere because these teams are paying money.
Yeah,
I don't know how
they're making money.
how's the Padres continue to shell out money? Like
Yeah.
they got Soto last year in the trade.
Yeah.
They got Tatis. They signed for big money. They've got who's the kid there? The first baseman, Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Right, and now you just signed Bogarts. Like they're in the same boat as the New York Yankees, but how do they afford it?
I don't
In
know.
San Diego, I don't understand. Baseball's out of control, man. They are just throwing money at everybody,
Well,
which is
look, it's going to catch up with them. You watch, mark my words.
yeah. We'll see. Because let's talk about this other team here. We'll bring him up, Justin Verlander, who is now a New York Met, and he signed a pretty good contract as well. Your thoughts on them losing DeGrom? Does this soften that blow?
Oh God, yes. Yeah. I mean, you basically. I mean, you got the Cy Young Award winner. I mean,
You got a guy that's dependable. So DeGrom,
Yeah.
11 games last year.
Yeah.
Right? So 5-4, 3.0 ERA, 102 strikeouts. He only pitched 64 innings.
he's also a winner.
Verlander, 28 games. He pitched 175 innings, 18-4, a 1.75
It's ridiculous.
ERA in 185 Ks. So again, you think about a guy, and he's won 2 World Series.
Right.
And what are the Mets trying to do? Win a World Series. But they didn't stop there. They've signed David Robinson to the bullpen for $10
From
million.
the Spurs?
David Robinson, yes. And also they kept outfielder Brandon Nemo, 8 years, $162 million, and Edwin Diaz they signed early in the year, 5 years, $102 million. Everybody's just throwing money around.
So I guess they found Nemo.
They did find Nemo. Yes. That was pretty good. Yeah, Dory helped them out.
Yeah.
Dory helped them out. The only issue would say is, look, at 39 years old, Verlander, did he have one of those, fountain of youth moments and was
No.
able to get? Oh, you think he's going to be solid for the next 2 years? So he'll be 41.
Yeah.
Okay. DeGrom 34.
Look, this is why I was hoping the Red Sox would sign him for 2 years. And I remember having this conversation with you. Oh, he's not going to want just 2 years. He's going to want more for security. He got 2 years.
You want the kicker is the New York Yankees offered him a contract. He told them he would only come to New York for 3, and he goes to the Mets. I don't know if he realizes that's New York. So they might be. It's.
Well, I
Still New York.
mean, when you're talking about a New York baseball team, I mean,
Here goes that. Yep. Don't do it.
well, no, I'm just saying they don't really count the Mets.
I'm gonna lose all of Queens now. Queens gone. Queens
But
gone.
no, I like the Mets. that might be the team I root for. Ooh. It's not going to happen, but
You're going to root for the Padres. Be a Padres fan. I would respect
yes,
you more.
I should be a Padres
They've
fan.
got a good team.
I know they do.
And then we need to start covering some West Coast teams anyway. That'll help us out there. So you got to do that for us. There you go.
Yeah.
And we already talked, Kenny. We can't wait. Major League Baseball preview show. That'll be in a couple months. We got a lot going on. Baseball will be back, but the Mets serious contenders. So we'll have to see. Although Philly's throwing some money around it as well. Philadelphia, they did Trey Turner.
Yeah, they did.
So there's so many different options to go with in the National League. that is going to be a fun, group to watch.
It's going to be a dogfight in the National League.
That's going to, and you still got the Braves, who will be, so again, it'll be really interesting to see how that all turns out. Ron, it's time for your face-off time.
Face-off? Oh, that's the thing for face-off? I thought we were talking NHL.
And we are talking NHL right after that. So face-off, and our face-off today is about, should leagues give trophies for the best overall record? One of us has to be for this, and one of us has to
I get to be first?
this. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say yes, they do, and the NHL already does, so I win.
I know they do. No, I didn't say should they be giving out trophies for the best record.
I'm just saying.
Smarty pants. Should they?
I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? You get a trophy.
You're an idiot.
In the NHL, they call it the President's Trophy, and it means absolutely nothing.
Exactly. So why even do it? It's a participation award.
I know it is.
It's ridiculous.
But
who won it last year? Do you know who won it last year?
What, for the NHL?
Yeah.
Florida?
Very good. Do you know who won the Stanley Cup?
Not Florida?
No, but who won the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, Colorado. I know.
Exactly. So who cares who has the best record?
No,
it's who wins the
President's
championship.
Trophy never wins the Stanley Cup.
That's what I was saying. It's stupid. It's
That's what I was saying.
So this is why this question came up, because now the NBA has the Maurice Podroff Trophy.
Who?
I guess he was the first commissioner of the NBA.
What?
And that will be awarded to the team with the best record. Do you know who won the NBA Finals last season?
They're just handing out trophies left and right now in the NBA.
Who won? Who had the NBA Finals championship last year? Who won it?
Okay, Golden State.
Okay, you know who had the best record?
What was it? Phoenix.
Faceless. Thanks for joining. Phoenix had the best record. Who cares? Does anybody care that Phoenix had the best record?
No,
so they'll get a
say
trophy
that every
for
year,
that.
and they lose every year.
They're gonna have a nice trophy now every year in a case to say we had the best record, and there'll be zero trophies, right? Yeah. Like, who cares?
No, this is just the NBA just being silly, and they want to name trophies after everybody. You know, they literally are naming it after everybody.
Yeah, they're changing all their trophies and it's getting out of control.
Before you know it, our redheaded fan favorite Scalabrini will have a trophy named after him.
Kenny's got it right. Joe Dumas, he's running the operations. He's just saying, let's give out trophies for everybody. Yeah. There's going to be a trophy at some point for the guy serving the water to the players.
No, like Scalabrini's going to have one named after him for the best redheaded player.
Right? Yeah. Zero contributing to a championship trophy.
Yes.
The Scalabrini trophy.
The best bench warmer in the league.
I cannot believe that they're going to do this. I can't believe the NHL already does it. They've
been doing it forever.
That's what I'm saying. It's a joke. Who cares?
That's why I said that.
You play to win a championship. You don't play to have the best record.
No.
It doesn't get you anywhere at the end of the day.
This is like, okay, so take the NHL, for instance. When you win the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference championships, you get a trophy. None of the players want any part of it. They don't touch it. Because
it's a jinx.
You don't want it. Yeah, you don't want to jinx.
So
if you're
I've got
happy, then you're content.
I'm raising my hand right now. I want the NFL to come up with. There's going to be a trophy for the most interceptions, and we're going to call it the Brett Favre because you like to steal things. So you're stealing the opponent. Like we could go a whole route of these things now, and just
don't disrespect the Red Mamba. Oh,
there's the name of the trophy, Kenny. The Red Mamba. You get the Red Mamba for
the
0
best
points
bench warmer.
in the finals. 0 points,
0 boards, 0
2
assists.
minutes. 2 minutes. You get the Red Mamba award. We're gonna watch the finals this year, and we Sports and Full are gonna award the Red Mamba award for and give them a trophy because this is what we do. Hey, thanks for participating. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for putting on a uniform. You get a trophy.
You can wave that towel better than anybody.
Right? The towel award, right? Yeah, give it up. Get rid of the President's Trophy already, NHL. The NBA, stop giving out trophies for every single thing now. Like, just stop. It's gonna get so diluted that nobody's gonna care.
I already don't.
Like, I just don't get it. So clearly I won that. Thank you very much, Ron.
Okay, whatever. That's fine.
You completely went to my side right away.
At least I won't be wearing somebody else's jersey. That's all I can say.
See, now you're counting it before it actually happened.
Yeah,
that could be a mistake as well.
Already.
You are touching the trophy before you win the Stanley Cup.
No, I'm not
just
touching
did
the
it.
trophy.
You just did it.
No, I didn't.
Be ready, my friend, for the comeback of all comebacks.
Okay. All right.
So now it is NHL time because you, my friend, are out of control today, as usual. You're losing your mind little by little.
I'm not losing my mind. I'm always right, dude.
You are always right, except when you argue your point to my point, which so I was clearly right.
It was funny. It was funny.
Let's bring up Nate McKinnon, who will miss at least up to 4 weeks with an upper body injury. How does this affect the Avs for the next month?
Look, and he's saying goodbye to his stick already.
He's already sad. Look at how sad he is.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to put you on the shelf for at least 4 more weeks. It's okay. I'll be back.
You wouldn't be sad if the Bruins weren't so dominant right now. You know, but you're too cocky right now about this NHL
not
season.
Too cocky. Wait. Oh, that's right. They just came off of a 4-0 win after a 5-1 win against them. Just saying.
Okay. So do you not have an opinion on this? Just we can move on. I'm feeling like that's
so. What's the opinion on about whether or not they're going to be in trouble? They're in trouble. They're already in trouble. You know, I mean, you got to be without him for 4 more weeks?
For basically about a month. And he's leading the team right now in points, assists, and a plus-minus.
Yeah. Good luck.
He's second in goals to Mikko Rantanen, who has 15. He has 8, but 26 assists. He's 4th highest in time on ice at 21.53. So 21 minutes, 53 seconds. And he's the captain, right? Or is he an alternate? He's the alternate.
Alternate.
Right? But so you think about just his presence as a team leader.
Yeah,
it's the hardest thing to do, right? We would say is the repeat, but sometimes the injuries are more of a factor of that as well.
Yeah, look, what they were 4th coming into this week. They already took a loss against the Bruins. You know, things are not looking good for them right now.
Yeah, they're 4th in the Central behind Winnipeg, Dallas, and Minnesota. They're 9th overall in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So they're not even outperforming some of the other Western
they're not in the playoff spot.
Yeah, so it's just 13-10-1 right now.
Yeah.
They're 3 games over 500, and you can very easily say, look, if without
they
him
do have one thing going for them, though. They're in the Western Conference.
I think you were going to say altitude.
Well, that too, but
okay.
But even though, I mean, if they go on, if they lose, 60% of their games, they could find themselves out of the run. And that's going to be hard to recover. Yeah. I mean, it's possible, but that's going to be difficult.
Now you're going to ask Rantanen to do a lot more.
Yeah.
And who knows there again? Now you're talking.
And and if you saw the game against the Bruins, you're in major trouble because they were not competing.
And even from the goaltending standpoint, right? They gave up their goaltender, and we said it wouldn't affect them.
Yeah,
it's 13-10. Look, it's not a very good record.
No,
not considering you're the defending champions, and you still got enough talent. They have talent to win there.
Yeah.
So speaking of talented
They're not
teams,
playing.
Boston Bruins home win streak for the longest start to a season ended at 14 games.
Yep.
It's a new NHL record. Thoughts on that accomplishment by the Bruins?
It's a great accomplishment, but it's done.
Should they get a
Pass.
trophy for it, though? Throw it out there. Throw it out there. I would throw it out. Give them a trophy for it. So next best, is that Andy Griffith playing in the back? What is going on over there? Ron, what is going on over there?
I don't know.
Andy Griffith's playing in the background. I don't know what we're doing anymore. We've lost all control of the show right now. But the next best record was by the Chicago Blackhawks 1963-64 and the Florida Panthers of 2021-22. 11 games. So 3 games over that. It's not easy to do, to your point. There's only been 2 other teams that have had double digits to start, would be Ottawa of 1925-26 and the Canadians of 2016-17. It doesn't happen too often.
No.
You know, so
I'm just
again,
glad they broke a Canadian record.
We're Oprah now, Kenny. That's right. You get a trophy, and you get a trophy, and you get a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy. Just give them trophies. Give them trophies. So let me ask you this question, Ron. The fact that they lost, what would you say now at this point for them home wise they need to do to continue to kind of stay hot and in that mood? Or does that loss start to put it in reality and things come back down to earth?
No, because they went right to work and they took care of business against Colorado. And, you know, so they know what they have to do. And as long as they remind themselves of that when they do lose a game, you stay out of long losing streaks. And I got to think that this team is for real. And, you know, and it makes me wonder really what happened last year, you know, with all the problems that surrounded the team, you know, like Cassidy clearly lost the team.
Yeah. So again, coaching could make a difference. Where again, we don't let losses like that affect us, right? You move past it and then you continue
Right.
to drive. They're on the West Coast right now, so again, you think about, you know, get away from home for a little bit, get it out of your mind, then you come back and you just start over. Great discussion.
Absolutely.
Let's go pick and roll, my friend. Pick and roll time. Episode 49. So in 1973, the NFL draft had these 5 players all make it to the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
We're going to rank them from 5 to 1. And the players are John Hanna, Ray Guy, Joe Delamure, Dan Fouts.
Wait, what is that one?
I'm trying to be French on that one. It didn't come out. And Drew Pearson. Delamure.
Sure, okay.
Delamure. You are first this week, so you get to give us your 5 to 1. Can't wait. All Hall of Famers, these guys. Go.
Yeah, all Hall of Famers. All of them. Why?
Ow!
Exactly. All right, number 5. Clearly, this is an oversight, and I think maybe that the voters, there must have been something wrong with the food or something, and they just said yes to everybody. And Dan Fouts got in. I put him at number 5.
You just don't like Dan Fouts.
No, I don't. I don't think
And
he's
off
a
to his
Hall of
Christmas card
Famer.
list.
He's not a Hall of Famer in my book. Not even as an analyst. I think he's just dreadful.
I will agree with that one.
254 touchdowns. Thank you. 254 touchdowns, 242 interceptions. How is he a Hall of Famer? How? Because he won a Super Bowl. Well,
But
Trent Dilfer won one.
Yeah, but you got to think the era too.
I don't care. He wasn't even that good. Like, he's no better than Carson Wentz.
I can't with you right now. Okay.
This is Carson Wentz right here. And we're going to put him in a Hall of Fame? So Dan Fouts, easily number 5, not even close in my book. I don't care what people think out there. Look, He had 12 more touchdowns than interceptions in his career. 12. 12.
See, I'm
12.
surprised. He was 2 games over 500 in his career. Come on. That's Hall of Fame worthy.
I haven't even gotten to that yet, but thank you for making that point for me too. 2 games.
I'm gonna
over
just sit back
500,
and
12
let
more
you
touch-
have your
This
moment.
this is just ridiculous. Dan Fouts stinks. Stinks. Number 5. Number 4 is Joe
Delamere.
Delamere.
Okay.
I mean, he's a guard, so 185 games
Is
played,
he a rap-
175 starts.
Is he a rap guard?
And the number that mattered was 3.
I like that one.
3 all pros. The Pro Bowls really doesn't matter in my book. I don't care about that because if you have like 5 guys that don't want to go and you're just next in line, ooh.
Oh boy, you.
So Joe Delamere is number 4. Number 3, I put Drew Pearson. Him and his 50 yards per game. Oh my God! How are these guys in the Hall
You are
of Fame?
forgetting the era.
I don't care.
So when they
50
got
yards.
in, they got
50.
in.
50.
It was early.
Per
What
game.
they probably get in mid 80s. These guys got in.
Although
roughly.
he does have 489 receptions. 48 touchdowns. Some guys get that in 2 years, but that's besides the point.
Different era.
I know, 16
Let it go.
average yards per catch.
Which is
You know,
decent.
It is decent. And 3 Pro Bowls, but 3 All-Pro. So that's pretty good. And he has a Super Bowl ring. Yay. Number 2, I thought for sure I was going to put this guy last because he's a punter. But I had to put him number 2 because the other 3 guys really don't even belong in the Hall of Fame. So Ray Guy, who averages a whopping 44 yards per punt.
Hey, it's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Jake Bailey's probably averaging 30. So
You're right. His longest though is 77 yards.
Wasn't that impressive? That's pretty impressive.
That's impressive. He did go to 7 Pro Bowls. Again, not important because he got nominated for, not nominated, but 3 All Pros. So he's the best punter at least 3 times. So, and when you win 3 Super Bowls, you have to do something right.
Yeah.
Even as a punter, you have to do
Absolutely.
something right.
Special teams sometimes.
Absolutely. So I put Ray Guy as number 2, a punter. Number 2. I'm just.
Gotcha.
And number 1 is John Hanna. I mean, he played 183 games. He started every single one of them. And, even though, he played on the Patriots, wasn't exactly
He got
stellar.
to a Super Bowl.
He did. But, his quarterbacks all had pretty good numbers. So that has a lot to do with John Hanna. 9 Pro Bowls, 7 All-Pros.
Yeah.
All-decade player twice.
Yep. 70s and
Twice.
80s. Yeah.
Twice. All-decade.
Yep.
So he's clearly the one that belongs in the Hall of Fame out of these 5. The others, not so much. I just think this is terrible.
Okay.
I actually had to count these guys.
Okay. All right, my friend. So we were actually pretty close. We were pretty close. We flipped 2 guys and we were exactly the same. I had Drew Pearson at 5.
Okay.
And he wasn't decorated.
So you had Fouts at 3?
Wait, okay, let me explain it to you though.
All right, go ahead.
So again, they all made the pretty much the 70s Hall of Fame team.
Yeah.
In the championship, but again, I just wasn't impressed with the touchdowns for Drew Pearson. And Joe Delamere.
Yep.
6 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros, made the 70s Hall of Fame. Again, decent. But if you think about guards, he was a guard. John Hanna, obviously much better than he was.
Yeah.
Dan Fouts, I put at 3, and this is why. It wasn't for his numbers, because his numbers did stink. His numbers were not very good. But he had 6 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros, 4 MVPs, and he was the 82 AP
Yeah,
Offensive Player of the Year and 79 the Sporting News
Yeah,
Player of
those
the
4
Year.
MVPs, they're like 3 different awards in the same year.
It's still he got a trophy.
So it's really 1 MVP.
He got a trophy, right?
Oh,
There
here
you
we
go.
We're just giving them out to
We're giving it
everybody.
out. There you go. So Dan Fouts got more trophies than the other guys.
Oh my God! Oh
So
God! Stop it!
I had Ray Guy at 2. Again,
Stop it!
and that was because of the 77-yard punt. Pretty impressive. That was about it. John Hanna, the Hog, man. I remember as a Patriot fan when I first started watching was back in '85 when they made their first Super Bowl run, and this guy was just, I mean, a patriot of all patriots. Like when you talked about patriots, John Hanna was that guy.
Wonder if he's still available.
We should see if maybe he wants to do an interview with Sports Unfolded. John Hanna, if you're out there, come on, let's talk about the old '85 Patriots and in that era, and how would he rank these guys? Because he played against or knew some of these guys. I bet you he would have taken Dan Fouts as his quarterback over some of the guys he had.
I don't know about that.
Although he had Plunkett, right? He had Plunkett.
Yeah.
He had Plunkett. But not when Plunkett was good.
No.
But that was our pick and roll. Pretty close. Pretty close. Actually, not bad. Not bad at all, my friend. Not bad.
Okay, but a punter at number 2 is embarrassing.
Hey, he was the best out of that class. 73.
Yes.
Hall of Fame.
Unfortunately, yes.
I mean, look, we don't pick them, man. We just.
Well, we did pick them.
And we roll with them. So we got
right.
to. So there you go. Pick and roll, baby. Pick and roll. It is.
Now is the truth-telling time.
This is it. This is it. This is the predictions. Bring them up. It's getting closer, my friend. A few weeks left.
What the heck?
Predictions. We are coming down to the wire. You still hold an 8-win lead.
Yeah.
But anything can change. We've got 4 weeks left.
Look, you went with my pick, so you went 7-3.
I did. But again, we picked prior to us actually doing this, so it's going to be interesting. Manny and Kenny. Kenny had a phenomenal week at 3-7. That's probably his best week ever. And
Faceless, I know you're there, so you're gonna have to do some.
And we threw Faceless in there with that USA pick, 0-1.
Yeah, you
Manny,
get some picks up there, Faceless.
Manny, I just make sure each week I put a Boston team in so that he picks against it, even though it's a clear-cut win. Faceless is joining in today. I am ready to go. So Faceless, be ready for that. All right. I am not that.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you're out there, Faceless is on Twitch. So make sure you check him out because he plays some great games and it's really fun to watch. So Faceless_PT.
So you are first this week, my friend. We will start off in the NBA on 12-9, the Phoenix Suns at the New Orleans Pelicans.
You know, it's like I can't even read my writing because it looks like Scourge.
Scourge.
Suns look like Scourge.
Huh. So you're going with the Scourge?
No. I'm going with the Pelicans.
Pelicans.
The Pelicans.
Oh, my goodness. Kenny's going Suns. Kenny hasn't learned. Kenny just picks everybody.
He goes the opposite
every time, and it hasn't worked out well for him yet.
No, it hasn't. It's like Kenny.
We respect that. We give you a lot of credit for that. Manny's going Pelicans. Faceless, if you have a pick. And then I also went Pelicans. I just looked. They're the best team in the West right now, which is hard to believe. They have the number 1 team in the West right now, playing some really good basketball. It's going to be fun to see if they can continue to keep this run. Zion, the health of Zion, we talked about it earlier in the year.
Yeah.
It's making a difference.
Yeah, now watch. He'll probably get hurt tonight.
Yeah. And
not that I'm trying to jinx him.
Yeah. 12-15. We got the Milwaukee Bucks at the Memphis Grizzlies. As much as I want to believe in the Grizz, I'm going Bucks, man. I just think them getting healthy with Middleton, and they've only had 5 losses, I believe, on the season. I just think the Bucks are a better team.
I'm going Grizzlies.
Okay.
They're going to be playing at home. I think Memphis is going to be ready for this. So yeah, I'm going Memphis.
Oh, that don't bode well. Kenny picked the Bucks. Kenny, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Kenny, don't let me down on this one, my
Hey,
friend.
you got a chance to gain on me.
Oh, Manny went Grizz.
There we go. See, Manny's onto it now. He knows where to go.
I can already tell you where Manny's going to pick on this one. On 12-11, you got the Boston Bruins at the Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh,
You're up, my friend.
Boston's going in there, and they are going to get revenge. There is no way they're going to lose both games to Vegas. No way.
You think Cassidy would put that up? Should Cassidy get a trophy if he beats Boston twice?
Okay, enough with the
No.
trophies.
No more trophies. Kenny's going Knights.
Kenny's
Kenny-
going Knights?
Kenny is going Knights. Manny's
Wait, who did you go with?
Manny's going Knights.
Who did you go with?
I'm going with the Boston Bruins, of course. Best team in the NHL. Why would I go any other way, my friend?
Just saying.
On 12-15, you got the Seattle Kraken at the Carolina Hurricanes. You are not a believer in the Kraken. Carolina at home, you said they need to test Seattle. I want them on that list. We need them on that list for the NHL top 5 teams. I'm going Kraken on this. I am going Seattle in an upset. In an upset. Seattle is for real. And Carolina
Okay,
has not played well.
Release the Kraken stuff, okay? No, it's going to be Carolina.
I highly recommend
They're at home.
Cap-
There's no
Cap-
way. There's no way they're losing to Seattle. There's no way.
Captain Morgan, Kraken, phenomenal. Kenny's cooking it because he's got Kraken. I love Kenny. I love Kenny.
So I'm the only one going Carolina, really? Are
No,
you
Manny
guys
hasn't picked yet.
serious?
Manny hasn't picked it.
Come on, I want to see that little swirl for the Hurricane. Oh
Manny
my
went
God.
Krakens.
All right. Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you guys.
Yeah, because you listen, we've been in Seattle and they keep beating teams. And then you're saying they're not for real, though. Let's see. 12-11, my friend.
Yeah, we'll
NFL
see.
football. We got the New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going Buffalo. They're not going to lose both games to the Jets. That's not going to happen. Very rarely happens anyway. So I'm going Bills. They're for real. They're in the driver's seat now in the AFC.
Manny went Buffalo.
That looks like a lion now.
No, I got a little Buffalo thing going. Kenny went Bills. I also went Buffalo. I agree with you. I just don't see it happening twice in one season. 12-11, we also have Tampa Bay at the San Francisco 49ers. So the Buccaneers at the 49ers. In Tom, we trust. I'm going Tampa Bay. I think this is – I don't trust this Purdy. I know you think he's pretty good, but I think Tom's just a little better.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks. I think Tom Brady gets it done, puts himself at, in the driver's seat, and he's not going to let us down on this one.
CMC, he's going with the 49ers, Manny.
Wait, CMC?
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey.
Oh.
Christian McCaffrey, Kenny. What do you got, Ken? Faceless, stay with us.
Faceless, come on, let's go. Let's
Oh,
go.
Faceless, we got soccer coming up. We got some football. Football. I'm just waiting on Kenny here. Kenny picks it. Bucks. Kenny going Bucks.
Yep, he's smart.
Faceless is smiling. You're ready, Faceless. We got some football coming. And 12-12. It's already been. How does you know, Manny? New England at Arizona. Oh, because of the ticker.
There.
The ticker.
Yeah, the ticker.
He's going Arizona. Manny's going Arizona.
Yeah, I'm going Pats.
Ron is going.
I just think Arizona's terrible.
Ron's going Pats. I am going with Manny. I'm going Arizona. I don't have faith in this team at all.
We know that, and that's why
The
we
sli-
like when you do this, because then they win
slide's
and you
going.
get a loss. So
The slide's going, my friend. Get ready. This is the end of the run for the New England Patriots. Let's start with this game. All right, so we got World Cup. Let's get some picks in here. Faceless, make sure you join in on this one. England versus France in the quarters. That's tomorrow. I am going England. I'm going England. I'm going England on this one. There've been some great matches today. If you didn't watch today, Brazil lost. What a big upset that was. Argentina had to go to shootout in the final shootout goal. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Some great World Cup. Faceless went England.
I'm going France.
Kenny went France.
I'm going France.
You're going France.
Gonna ride with Kenny.
All right,
Me
with
and
Kenny.
you, Kenny.
And Manny's going with the French bread. Is that French bread?
The French bread.
Is that what that is?
French
bread? I don't know, right? That's what it
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
So Manny's going with France. That's what I'm going. I think that's French bread, right? A baguette, a French baguette. Right? That's a good one, Manny.
Oh my god, that's
Very good.
hilarious.
That is great.
I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard.
We also got tomorrow Morocco versus Portugal, Ron.
Yeah, I'm going Portugal. I know there's everybody's expecting Morocco to pull this one off, but no, I'm not one of those people.
Right? Morocco's, again, a lot of upsets. But
there we go. Portugal for Faceless.
I also went Portugal. And we got Manny and Kenny. We already know Kenny's going Morocco. I should just write it down right now. Kenny's going Morocco. I could just
oh my god.
I feel it already. I feel it in my bones. Morocco has only allowed one goal this entire World Cup, and it was their own goal. Going with Portugal. Great call, Manny.
Wow, really? They've only allowed one and they scored it on themselves?
Is that insane, right? Morocco, I mean, defensively, but again, I just think Portugal's got the firepower. I'm going Portugal, man. I'm going Portugal. Kenny.
Oh, that was just too funny with the baguette.
The baguette.
Oh,
that was pretty good.
It was good. That was the best one.
Oh, Kenny
going with the port wine.
All right, my friend. So we all went Portugal. Upset waiting to happen now on that one. And then on the 10th tomorrow, we've got the 123rd meeting of Navy at Army. So Navy versus Army, that big college rivalry. Who's up?
I went. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say I went Army.
You went Army. I went Navy. They're both not very good. I think one's 4-7, one's 5-6.
So if you're in the Navy, you can sail the 7 seas.
Manny went. Oh, everybody else went Army.
Yep.
All right.
So what does that tell you?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different this week, my friend. Faceless went Navy.
You can get right back into it.
I could be 3 games out after this week.
No.
Or yes, because if I win all 5, I'm 8 games down.
No. Okay.
Right? If I win all the games, we're different.
Yeah, but you're not.
If I do, I'm 3 games out. If I lose them all, I'm 13. That thing's over.
That's more likely to happen.
But I want to thank everybody for joining in on that Faceless. Awesome job. Manny, Kenny, you guys are awesome with that. If you guys would like to follow the show, that little ticker down there tells you all the different ways you can do that. Well, that's
not actually that. That's
not this ticker. This is the prediction ticker.
That's
the other ticker.
One.
Ron, if they want to sponsor the show, how can they do it?
Just send us the money. No. No. What you do is exactly. You're a little slow there. That was a little off. First of all, you send us an email to ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you all the information. It costs less than going to your breakfast establishment and getting a coffee and a donut. So
or
it costs less than that.
Or a baguette. Right.
So if you're in England, it costs less than fish and chips.
Right. Little French cafe.
If you're in Portugal, it costs less than getting your port wine over there.
It's not a thing, but go.
Yes, it is. Where do you think port wine comes from? From Portugal.
Oh, okay.
It is. It's true.
Okay, I believe you.
It's true. So if you're from Morocco.
Oh boy, here we go. Less than
I don't know. I don't know food.
Do they
in
as a
Morocco,
maracas?
so-
Maybe they got
No,
maracas.
that's not Maracas. That's Mexico, isn't it?
Yes, it's from Portugal. Thank you, Faceless. Ron, you get an applause.
But yeah, so just do that. Like, let's get some sponsors, man. I mean, we are viewed by a lot of people,
A lot of we're everywhere too. We're on
and
Reddit.
it goes
Reddit,
on our
me, we.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook over 10,000 followers. YouTube over 1,000 followers. 300 on both Twitter and Twitch. So it just makes sense. It makes sense literally, and it only costs cents.
Very good, buddy. So it is final thoughts time.
Oh, here we
You
go.
are first this week, my
Oh
friend.
no, you can't have more than one, or I'm
I
not
have
going
two.
any further. No,
I have
know.
two. I do.
No.
I have two.
I will
I'm
end it.
sorry.
I will end the show on after your first one.
Okay, I'll
Just
say them
saying.
both really
Just
fast
saying.
so you can't. Go ahead.
Just saying.
You up first.
I'm up first.
You up first this
okay.
week.
So all right. So we're gonna start off by saying welcome home to Brittany Griner. I make a lot of statements on why you're there in the first place. But all in all, it is a stupid sentence to get that for what you did, which is basically nothing. But welcome back. I mean, it was costly to the United States, but all in all, I think Biden did the right thing on that. To get somebody home would have been nice to have everybody home, but I'm sure they'll work on that. But welcome home, and rest in peace, Kirstie Alley.
Oh, see, that was one of mine. So that was one of mine. I was going to mention Kirstie Alley, but I would say this before we get back into that: pay these WNBA players more money so they don't have to go overseas.
Absolutely.
That would probably prevent some of this from actually happening, because again, they have to go overseas in the off seasons to try to make legitimate money, because those teams pay them a lot more than they get paid in their own country to do the same job. So it's a shame. But now in Kirstie Alley, I thought about the same thing. And when she replaced Shelley Long on Cheers back in '87, I thought the show was going to be done. And she was such a great addition to that show. And I loved Cheers. And I think we all did, because it had that Boston mentality, right?
Yep.
But what a great show. Unfortunately, passed away at 71 from colon cancer. So get screened, get checked. The importance of that, because again, I think they just had recently found out her diagnosis, and it had already, pretty much in the late
too late.
So great points, Ron. And yes, rest in peace, Kirstie Alley. And then my final thought was on
your final thought.
My final thought was on Larry Bird, who turned 66 years old 2 days ago, December 7th. Celtics legend. If you think about, and I watched some clips, just some of the things he used to do. The man was a basketball wizard. And I can honestly say the first real game that I started to watch, he made me want to watch basketball. He was the biggest reason why I started getting into the NBA, because of Larry Bird and what he was able to do on the court. It just changed my whole outlook. And the battles with him and Magic, and how that all transpired. Such a great legend. Again, from a Celtic standpoint, can never be replaced. I still, out of all the guys that have come after him, Pierce, who I thought was phenomenal, never be another Larry legend for me when it comes to Boston, because he was that first guy for me when it came to the Celtics. A lot of greats on the Boston Celtics. I'm not taking anything away from all of them. For me personally, Larry Bird was that first guy for me for a Celtic. So happy birthday to Larry Bird, 66, 2 days ago. So 66 years young.
HBD.
Ron, I want to thank you for your time tonight. I had a great time. I want to thank all of the fans that have joined live. Kenny, Manny, Faceless, you guys have been awesome tonight. Everybody that's going to join us afterwards, just continue to follow, share us. We need all the support we can get to just continue to grow. We appreciate all the support we get. Ron, I can't wait to do it again next Friday.
Yeah, please share.
Episode
and we'll see
50.
You next time.
Can't wait. All we ask for every single week is peace in this world.
Have a great night, everybody.